back, subscribers, and hello YouTube viewers. This is just another moment in time. So I've come up to a location that's basically 20 minutes from the city of Zadar in Croatia, and this is called the City Panorama. It looks like it's just an open space where you've got a good view of the city. There are a few other relics around here, so I will walk around and see what we see, but I'll give you the view of the harbour and the city. We're up on a hill. It is a bit chilly. The sky is still blue, but it is cold. So let's have a look around and see what we see. So directly next to me is olive trees. So these trees that you see right in front of you now, there's like a big row of olive trees. Seems to be a big thing here, and as we can see, it really is a commanding sort of view of the whole city. Just lovely. You get to see the islands in the background, and there's quite a number of them. Don't assume that the whole length of the islands in the background is all one island. It can be broken up in quite a number of them. So I made that assumption and I was incorrect. So even though it looks like one large piece of land in the background on the other side of the sea, it really isn't. So here we are, just across the road from where I've parked, which is known as City Panorama. And this is what sort of interested me initially. Now there is a bunker and some trenches that are underground. Whether or not we can go wandering around, I'm not too sure. It does look like it is being rejuvenated and is going to be turned into, if it hasn't already, into some sort of well, it's not really a tourist attraction. It's a memory of the Second World War. So this is a Second World War built bunker and trenches, and it's like a living museum, as in all the things are still in place. We'll have a look around and let's see what we see. Once again, if you're looking for it in English, there it is. Just press pause and you can have a read. And here it is in Croatian. Once again, if you want to press pause, you can read it. So it looks like very much that it's from the Second World War. And I'd imagine this is when the Italians were occupying pretty much most of Zadar during that time. So we'll go have a look and let's see what we see. So here we have a basic plaque. It talks about this revival. So it sounds like there's a historical sort of group that go around through the European Union that look for locations that have sort of been dismissed and not highlighted as of any importance, when I guess they really are. So it really doesn't say anything here other than that sort of details. Once again, press pause if you would like to read it, but I can tell you there is, not sure if you can see that, a trench network right here. I'm not sure if that's coming in as well as what I'm seeing it, but you can see that there it has been purposely built, and this being a location overlooking the city, it would have been fortified to somehow protect the city from aircraft trying to bombard the city. So we'll continue on and let's see what we see next. Now here we have, that I think is a little bit unusual, a steel bunker. Now I've seen them as concrete, but not as steel. So there is quite a number of lookouts for the soldiers to look out of. Whether or not it had a weapon in there as well, I can't tell you. It is an unusual shape because it's got these side things. I don't know if I'm pointing at it now. I'm not sure what they're for. Maybe that's to help rotate it if it was a rotating one, but I cannot tell you at all. Looking inside, there is a tunnel that leads straight down. So there is some tunnelling in this area, as it suggested when I first arrived here. Whether or not we can get into those tunnels, I don't know. But this is quite the unusual looking sort of bunker. I can tell you that it's about, well, me standing right next to it suggests that it could be 6 feet tall. And we'll continue on. It is a beautiful sight from here, though. I can see why this area was fortified to help protect the city. What a magical sort of view. Once again, unfortunately, this also means it's an area where people have been doing a lot of dumping. It is quite sad to see everything from KFC rubbish to just household white goods, fridges and all that sort of stuff. Quite sad to see, but anyway, we'll continue on with our walk around. So here's another plaque, and basically tells you about the Italian bunker system in Zadar. Now there is quite a number where I'm here, but it basically says that after the end of the First World War, Zadar was annexed to the Kingdom of Italy by the Treaty of Rapallo, and then I guess after the Second World War, or into the Second World War, the Italians occupied this area. Once again, it's disappointing what we're seeing here as a tourist attraction. Not sure what these large stones are all about. There is quite a number of them around, but I'm not sure of their significance. And there's nothing to tell me what they're for. So here we have these round stone sort of boulders. Once again, I'm just going to assume that that's for seeding. There's no plaques or any sort of information to suggest they're anything other than seeding. And I guess if the trees and shrubs were all trimmed down, you'd have an excellent view of the city. But unfortunately, everything's overgrown, so it looks a bit. It looks like it's no one's looking after it and no one's keeping an eye on it, which is a bit sad. So here's another look at that steel bunker it's got definitely like a spiral concrete staircase that goes directly down and into the earth. Where it leads to, I don't know. It doesn't appear to be any sort of entry points to where the tunnels might be, and if so, I think they're all closed off. But if I see anything, I will definitely film it. Now there's something else there, and I think there might be more than just one steel bunker. And once again, this is what I'm sort of mentioning about the trash that's being dumped. It's quite sad. There's also household building rubble as well, and we can see, I'm not sure if you can see that, between the trees there's another steel type bunker that we'll go have a look at. So here is that second bunker. This one's much lower to the surface, and it's also got, what's this, 1, 2, I'd imagine 4 openings. Yes, it does. So it's got 4 openings, and there is a hole at the top. And once again, I'm not sure if you can see anything in there. People are using it as a rubbish, which is quite sad. Okay, so it does have a lot of scars on it. Whether or not it has been hit by shrapnel, and there is a very large crack as well. That would not be easy to do. So there you have it. So we'll continue on. There's something else just over that shrub in the middle of your screen, which we'll go check out. So we do have like some sort of tank. I think it's just for water. I don't think it's got anything to do with the Second World War at all. It does have at the base of it a more modern looking a valve. So we'll have to ignore that one. Now at this same location, it does appear that they do have like an off-road safari tours on these quad motorbikes. There's one right there. There's another 4 here. Obviously it's closed now. It's something just that happens during the tourist season. But it looks abandoned to me. Even the front window's smashed out, so anyone can technically walk in there, which is quite odd. But supposedly you could come here, rent one of those quads, and you go for a tour, probably in the mountainside behind us, and have some fun for the day. Seems a bit odd. Now, I did mention earlier there was a plaque mentioning some cemeteries for 2 individuals, and maybe this is it, or is this a way in to the tunnels? And it does very much look like it is a way in. I'll go and check the door, but I don't think we'll be able to get in. It does look like it's closed, but I'll have a look and see what we see. So it does very much look like it's closed, so we can't actually get in. And yes, it is. Can we see what's in there? To a certain degree we can see something. So yes, there is a tunnel. It's quite steep. Actually, it still keeps going downwards before it goes straight ahead. So there you have it. So it is locked. We gave it our effort to check it out, but no, cannot get in there. At least there is an entry point at some stage, and I'm guessing at some stage it could have been something for people to have a look at. There is a little water fountain there, but that looks way too new. So we'll continue on. Now, returning to this plaque that we started from, I'm guessing the intention here is to revitalise this by this company, or this this process called revival, and this is their expectations to see what it will all pan out. This should be quite spectacular, actually. Now I'm going to guess that we were somewhere here, one of these. This is one of the entry points, I believe. This is the exposed, well, not the trench I'm gathering, so that's the exposed trench. That's one of the steel posts that we did, or the bunkers that we did still. That's the second one that we did see. And where we walked on top, which is just here, might be directly above it. I'm not sure. But if this is, if they go to the trouble of actually doing this, it would be quite spectacular. And the suggestion is they might even be building some sort of large platform that will give you a view of the city itself, but also an overview, which will be here, of where we've just walked with that trench. It'll be good. It'll be a good tourist spot, I think. So we'll see what happens. There is a budget for it. That's one heck of a budget. Wow. Okay. So I'm not sure what's going on here. This should have already been completed, but unfortunately something's happened, because we're not seeing any of that. We're seeing some things where I guess some minor chairs that I initially thought were like places we'd come and sit do exist. This is untouched, so I'm not sure what the story is. It's a sad state. If they've already invested the money and nothing's occurred and only a temporary thing has been set up, but unfortunately it's all been dumped. It's just a lot of garbage here, so hopefully that'll get corrected. Now I'll just share with you guys the actual trench that supposedly leads to the underground tunnels and those two steel bunkers. I'm assuming there must be something else up here that would address sort of the anti-aircraft that they were probably trying to deter from striking Zadar. Just to recap, this was an Italian post. After the First World War, this was annexed to Italy, and during the Second World War, Italy being in cahoots with the Germans, they occupied this area. So as you can see, this lot of bugs, a lot of birds in here as well. This trench is very sturdy, and if we can continue it up, it would lead all the way to the underground tunnels. Now this trench I have now been able to access. I've walked up and I was basically stopped by all those shrubs. They got thorns on them and all sorts of stuff that's clinging onto all your clothes. Took me about 15 minutes just to clean myself off. But with the drone, I've been able to see the entry point, and we've now made our way to the entry point from the just pardon me, from the tunnel entrance. And as we can see, there's another plaque that basically is just like the ones at the top level, or the ground level, that states that the a group called Revival through the European Union and have what they do is they invest money and look for dismissed or neglected areas that have some sort of significance. And as we can see, that trench brings you right up to the tunnel entrance. It is locked. I'm not going to force it open or anything. There's no one about, so just to open it wouldn't be a chore, but that's not what we do. But it's quite sad that it's become disused, abandoned. I'm not sure how you'd call this. Is it an abandoned World War II site, World War I site? I would say so, because someone's made a small amount of effort to make it into like a tourist spot, and now it's just been totally neglected, overrun. I'd imagine that you should be able to walk along this trench to this entry point, and with the tour group you could have gone in, and for whatever reason this is now stopped from occurring. So it is what it is. We've given it our best shot. At least you've seen what it looks like, and the drone footage is pretty good, so please enjoy that. Okay, so now I'll jump in with a bit more information that I've researched, and I will put this information in the description below. So the exact time of the construction of the fort is unknown. It is probably between the late 1930s. However, it was possible that the construction was not completed until August 1940, because this is not visible on the military or the Italian military map from that time. With its two gun turrets, it covered the valley between the hill on which the village of Bokanjac is located and Čubrijan. The fort was built by the method of surface excavation, so that the inner or the interior of the fortress was covered with metal beams that were poured with concrete and covered with 2 to 3 meters of stone and soil. It has 2 combat positions in steel gun turrets weighing 10 tons. The walls of the gun turrets are 80 millimeters thick and made of steel cast. The body of the dome is made in one piece by the method of casting steel with an access shaft at the bottom. These steel gun turrets were made in the Ilva steel mill in Genoa, Italy. The gun turrets were fixed to the concrete foundation by steel screws
and then poured to the level of the portholes with concrete for better protection. Each gun turret had 4 protruding portholes protected with 320 kilo ball-shaped steel shields, each providing a 100-degree field of fire. 2 Fiat Revelli model 1935 calibre 8mm machine guns could be used in one dome but opposed portholes. So that's it with the extra information I was able to uncover. By all means, please enjoy the rest of the aerial view of this location.
So once again, it is a bit of a just a moment in time. I was expecting a little bit more. If you did like the video, by all means click on the like button or that thumbs up icon. Please consider subscribing. Subscribing doesn't cost you 1 cent, but it really does help the channel. But most importantly, stay safe, commute safe no matter where you are, and have a great day. And thanks for watching.